1 hour to improve your English listening skills.
英文加中文配音，每天1小时，增强你的英文听力。
What's the latest on the climate summit? What's the latest on the climate summit?
气候峰会的最新情况是什么？
Leaders are still debating the new emissions targets. Leaders are still debating the new emissions targets.
领导人仍在讨论新的排放目标。
Has there been any progress on renewable energy initiatives? Has there been any progress on renewable energy initiatives?
在可再生能源倡议方面有任何进展吗？
Yes. They've agreed to increase solar energy funding by 30%. Yes. They've agreed to increase solar energy funding by 30%.
是的，他们已经同意将太阳能资金增加30%。
What about the protests happening downtown? What about the protests happening downtown?
市中心正在发生的抗议活动怎么样了？
They're in response to the recent government announcement. They're in response to the recent government announcement.
他们是回应最近的政府公告。
Are the protesters demanding anything specific? Are the protesters demanding anything specific?
抗议者有什么具体要求吗？
They want immediate action on climate policies, not just promises. They want immediate action on climate policies, not just promises.
他们希望立即采取气候政策行动，而不仅仅是承诺。
How has the market reacted to the tech companies' collapse? How has the market reacted to the tech companies' collapse?
市场对这家科技公司的倒闭有何反应？
Stocks tumbled after the bankruptcy was declared. Stocks tumbled after the bankruptcy was declared.
宣布破产后，股票暴跌。
Can you explain the new tax law to our viewers? Can you explain the new tax law to our viewers?
你能向我们的观众解释一下新的税法吗？
Essentially, it increases taxes for the highest earners. Essentially, it increases taxes for the highest earners.
本质上，它提高了最高收入者的税收。
How will this impact average families? How will this impact average families?
这将对普通家庭产生什么影响？
Most won't see any change, but the wealthiest will pay more. Most won't see any change, but the wealthiest will pay more.
大多数人不会看到任何变化，但最富有的人将支付更多。
There's been a major cyber attack reported, hasn't there? There's been a major cyber attack reported, hasn't there?
已经报道了一起重大网络攻击，不是吗？
Yes, several government websites were taken offline. Yes, several government websites were taken offline.
是的，几个政府网站被下线了。
Do we know who is responsible? Do we know who is responsible?
我们知道是谁负责的吗？
Officials suspect it's a foreign cyber group. Officials suspect it's a foreign cyber group.
官员们怀疑是一个外国网络组织。
What's being done to restore the sites? What's being done to restore the sites?
正在采取什么措施来恢复这些网站？
A specialist team is working on it around the clock. A specialist team is working on it around the clock.
一个专业团队正在全天候处理此事。
Has the ceasefire been effective? Has the ceasefire been effective?
停火协议有效吗？
It's holding for now, but it's still fragile. It's holding for now, but it's still fragile.
目前还在维持，但仍然很脆弱。
What are the main challenges in the peace talks? What are the main challenges in the peace talks?
和平谈判中的主要挑战是什么？
Trust is a big issue, given the past violations. Trust is a big issue, given the past violations.
鉴于过去的违规行为，信任是一个大问题。
Any updates on the health crisis in the capital? Any updates on the health crisis in the capital?
首都健康危机有什么最新消息吗？
Health officials are launching a new vaccination drive. Health officials are launching a new vaccination drive.
卫生官员正在启动一个新的疫苗接种活动。
Is the vaccine available to everyone? Is the vaccine available to everyone?
疫苗对每个人都可用吗？
Yes, it's free for all residents. Yes, it's free for all residents.
是的，对所有居民免费。
What caused the recent power outage? What caused the recent power outage?
是什么导致了最近的停电？
An unexpected failure at the main power station. An unexpected failure at the main power station.
主要发电站意外故障。
How severe was the damage from the hurricane? How severe was the damage from the hurricane?
飓风造成的破坏有多严重？
It's extensive, especially in coastal areas. It's extensive, especially in coastal areas.
破坏是广泛的，尤其是在沿海地区。
Are relief efforts underway? Are relief efforts underway?
救援工作正在进行吗？
Yes, international aid is arriving. Yes, international aid is arriving.
是的，国际援助正在到达。
What's the situation with the refugee camp? What's the situation with the refugee camp?
难民营的情况怎么样？
It's overcrowded and supplies are low. It's overcrowded and supplies are low.
这里过于拥挤，物资也很短缺。
How are countries responding? How are countries responding?
各国是如何应对的？
Neighboring nations are opening their borders. Neighboring nations are opening their borders.
邻国正在开放他们的边境。
Any word on the new educational reforms? Any word on the new educational reforms?
有关于新的教育改革的消息吗？
They aim to increase digital learning tools in classrooms. They aim to increase digital learning tools in classrooms.
他们旨在增加课堂中的数字学习工具。
What does the trade agreement entail? What does the trade agreement entail?
贸易协议包含什么内容？
It removes tariffs on several agricultural products. It removes tariffs on several agricultural products.
它取消了对几种农产品的关税。
Will this affect local farmers? Will this affect local farmers?
这会影响当地农民吗？
It should actually help them access new markets. It should actually help them access new markets.
实际上，这应该能帮助他们进入新市场。
What happened to the sports championship yesterday? What happened to the sports championship yesterday?
昨天在体育锦标赛上发生了什么？
The underdogs pulled off a stunning upset. The underdogs pulled off a stunning upset.
黑马们爆冷，取得了惊人的胜利。
How did the fans react? How did the fans react?
球迷们是如何反应的？
Jubilation in the streets last night. Jubilation in the streets last night.
昨晚街头一片欢腾。
Any developments in the housing policy debate? Any developments in the housing policy debate?
住房政策辩论有任何进展吗？
The government is considering rent control measures. The government is considering rent control measures.
政府正在考虑租金控制措施。
What's this I hear about a diplomatic incident? What's this I hear about a diplomatic incident?
我听说的这个外交事件是怎么回事？
A foreign diplomat made controversial comments. A foreign diplomat made controversial comments.
一位外国外交官发表了有争议的评论。
How has the country responded? How has the country responded?
这个国家是如何回应的？
They've demanded an official apology. They've demanded an official apology.
他们要求正式道歉。
Is there a risk of escalating tensions? Is there a risk of escalating tensions?
有升级紧张局势的风险吗？
It's a delicate situation that needs careful handling. It's a delicate situation that needs careful handling.
这是一个需要谨慎处理的微妙局势。
What's the status of the public transportation strike? What's the status of the public transportation strike?
公共交通罢工的现状如何？
Talks are ongoing, but no agreement yet. Talks are ongoing, but no agreement yet.
谈判正在进行，但尚未达成协议。
What are the workers demanding? What are the workers demanding?
工人们要求什么？
Better pay and improved working conditions. Better pay and improved working conditions.
更高的薪酬和改善的工作条件。
Any news on the water scarcity issue? Any news on the water scarcity issue?
关于水资源短缺问题的最新消息是什么？
Authorities are planning to build new reservoirs. Authorities are planning to build new reservoirs.
当局正在计划建造新的水库。
How soon will they start construction? How soon will they start construction?
他们多久会开始施工？
Within the next 6 months. Within the next 6 months.
在接下来的6个月内。
What's happening with the film festival? What's happening with the film festival?
电影节发生了什么？
It's been postponed due to the recent scandal. It's been postponed due to the recent scandal.
由于最近的丑闻，它被推迟了。
What was the scandal about? What was the scandal about?
丑闻是关于什么的？
Allegations of funding mismanagement. Allegations of funding mismanagement.
资金管理不善的指控。
How are locals reacting to the mining proposal? How are locals reacting to the mining proposal?
当地人对采矿提议有何反应？
There's a lot of opposition due to environmental concerns. There's a lot of opposition due to environmental concerns.
由于环境问题，有很多反对意见。
Has there been any response from the tech giant on the data breach? Has there been any response from the tech giant on the data breach?
技术巨头对数据泄露有任何回应吗？
They've promised to enhance security measures. They've promised to enhance security measures.
他们承诺加强安全措施。
What advice is being given to affected users? What advice is being given to affected users?
给受影响的用户什么建议？
Change passwords and monitor accounts closely. Change passwords and monitor accounts closely.
更改密码并密切监控账户。
What's the latest from the peace rally? What's the latest from the peace rally?
和平集会最新情况如何？
Thousands have gathered to support the initiative. Thousands have gathered to support the initiative.
成千上万的人聚集起来支持这一倡议。
Any notable speeches? Any notable speeches?
有任何值得注意的演讲吗？
Several activists have called for comprehensive reforms. Several activists have called for comprehensive reforms.
几位活动家呼吁进行全面改革。
How is the new public health campaign being received? How is the new public health campaign being received?
新的公共卫生运动反响如何？
It's gained a lot of support for its focus on mental health. It's gained a lot of support for its focus on mental health.
他因其关注心理健康而获得了大量支持。
What's causing the delay in the airport expansion project? What's causing the delay in the airport expansion project?
是什么原因导致机场扩建项目延迟？
Environmental reviews are taking longer than expected. Environmental reviews are taking longer than expected.
环境评估耗时比预期更长。
How critical is the expansion for the economy? How critical is the expansion for the economy?
扩建对经济有多关键？
It's vital for boosting international trade. It's vital for boosting international trade.
这对促进国际贸易至关重要。
What's the update on the celebrity trial? What's the update on the celebrity trial?
名人审判的最新消息是什么？
The jury is still deliberating. The jury is still deliberating.
陪审团仍在审议中。
What charges are they facing? What charges are they facing?
他们面临什么指控？
Multiple charges, including tax evasion. Multiple charges, including tax evasion.
多项指控，包括逃税。
Any breakthroughs in the cancer research you reported on? Any breakthroughs in the cancer research you reported on?
在你报道的癌症研究中有任何突破吗？
A new drug has shown promising results in early trials. A new drug has shown promising results in early trials.
一种新药在早期试验中显示出有希望的结果。
What's going on with the National Library funding? What's going on with the National Library funding?
国家图书馆的资金情况如何？
The budget has been cut by 20%. The budget has been cut by 20%.
预算已被削减了20%。
How will that affect services? How will that affect services?
那将如何影响服务？
Reduced hours and possibly closing some branches. Reduced hours and possibly closing some branches.
减少开放时间，并可能关闭一些分馆。
What's the international reaction to the election results? What's the international reaction to the election results?
国际社会对选举结果的反应如何？
Widespread surprise and some concern about stability. Widespread surprise and some concern about stability.
普遍的惊讶和对稳定性的些许担忧。
Are there any challenges to the results? Are there any challenges to the results?
对结果有任何挑战吗？
A few parties are calling for a recount. A few parties are calling for a recount.
一些政党要求重新计票。
How's the weather expected to impact the harvest? How's the weather expected to impact the harvest?
预计天气会如何影响收成？
Farmers are worried. It's been the driest season in decades. Farmers are worried. It's been the driest season in decades.
农民们很担心，这是几十年来最干旱的季节。
What's the latest update on the artificial intelligence regulation talks? What's the latest update on the artificial intelligence regulation talks?
人工智能监管谈判的最新进展是什么？
Legislators are still debating the ethical implications. Legislators are still debating the ethical implications.
立法者仍在讨论伦理影响。
How will these regulations impact tech companies? How will these regulations impact tech companies?
这些规定将如何影响科技公司？
It could limit some of their operations, but ensure better user privacy. It could limit some of their operations, but ensure better user privacy.
它可能会限制他们的一些运营，但确保更好的用户隐私。
Any developments in the International Space Station project? Any developments in the International Space Station project?
国际空间站项目有任何进展吗？
A new module from Japan has just been added. A new module from Japan has just been added.
一个来自日本的新模块刚刚被添加。
What does this module do? What does this module do?
这个模块是做什么的？
It enhances research capabilities and crew living conditions. It enhances research capabilities and crew living conditions.
它增强了研究能力和机组人员的生活条件。
How is the public reacting to the new online voting system? How is the public reacting to the new online voting system?
公众对新的在线投票系统有何反应？
There's cautious optimism about its potential to increase turnout. There's cautious optimism about its potential to increase turnout.
人们对它提高投票率的潜力持谨慎乐观态度。
What's the cause of the recent internet outage? What's the cause of the recent internet outage?
最近互联网中断的原因是什么？
A major server failure at a central data center. A major server failure at a central data center.
一个中央数据中心的重大服务器故障。
How long before services are fully restored? How long before services are fully restored?
服务完全恢复之前需要多长时间？
Estimates suggest it could take up to 48 hours. Estimates suggest it could take up to 48 hours.
估计可能需要长达48小时。
What are the security concerns with the new 5G rollout? What are the security concerns with the new 5G rollout?
新5G 部署有哪些安全方面的担忧？
Experts worry about vulnerabilities to hacking and surveillance. Experts worry about vulnerabilities to hacking and surveillance.
专家担心黑客攻击和监控的漏洞。
Are there any benefits to the new technology? Are there any benefits to the new technology?
新技术有任何好处吗？
Yes, significantly faster internet speeds and more reliable connections. Yes, significantly faster internet speeds and more reliable connections.
是的，显著更快的互联网速度和更可靠的连接。
How has the launch of the new electric vehicle model gone? How has the launch of the new electric vehicle model gone?
新电动车型发布情况如何？
It's been a huge success with record pre-orders. It's been a huge success with record pre-orders.
它取得了巨大的成功，创下了预购记录。
What's the response to the new deep sea exploration initiative? What's the response to the new deep sea exploration initiative?
对新深海探索计划的反应是什么？
Scientists are excited about the potential for new discoveries. Scientists are excited about the potential for new discoveries.
科学家们对可能的新发现感到兴奋。
What kind of technology is being used? What kind of technology is being used?
使用了哪种技术？
Advanced submarines and remote-operated vehicles. Advanced submarines and remote-operated vehicles.
先进的潜艇和遥控操作的车辆。
Any updates on the digital healthcare program? Any updates on the digital healthcare program?
数字医疗保健计划有更新吗？
It's now expanded to include telemedicine services nationwide. It's now expanded to include telemedicine services nationwide.
现在已扩展到包括全国范围的远程医疗服务。
What does this mean for patients in rural areas? What does this mean for patients in rural areas?
这对农村地区的患者意味着什么？
They'll have better access to specialists without traveling. They'll have better access to specialists without traveling.
他们将能够更方便地接触到专家，而无需出行。
How are schools adapting to virtual reality classrooms? How are schools adapting to virtual reality classrooms?
学校是如何适应虚拟现实教室的？
Many are incorporating VR for immersive learning experiences. Many are incorporating VR for immersive learning experiences.
许多学校正在融入 VR 以提供沉浸式学习体验。
What's the current situation with the cryptocurrency market? What's the current situation with the cryptocurrency market?
当前加密货币市场的状况如何？
It's volatile, with prices fluctuating wildly. It's volatile, with prices fluctuating wildly.
它非常不稳定，价格波动剧烈。
What advice is being given to investors? What advice is being given to investors?
给投资者的建议是什么？
Caution is recommended, along with thorough research. Caution is recommended, along with thorough research.
建议谨慎，并进行彻底的研究。
Any breakthroughs in renewable energy storage? Any breakthroughs in renewable energy storage?
在可再生能源储存方面有任何突破吗？
A new battery design could triple storage capacity. A new battery design could triple storage capacity.
一种新的电池设计可以使存储能力提高3倍。
How will this impact the energy sector? How will this impact the energy sector?
这将对能源部门产生什么影响？
It could make solar and wind power more viable year-round. It could make solar and wind power more viable year-round.
它可以使太阳能和风能全年更具可行性。
What's happening with the global internet satellite project? What's happening with the global internet satellite project?
全球互联网卫星项目进展如何？
The first batch of satellites will launch next month. The first batch of satellites will launch next month.
第一批卫星将于下月发射。
How are cities implementing smart traffic systems? How are cities implementing smart traffic systems?
城市是如何实施智能交通系统的？
Sensors and AI are being used to reduce congestion. Sensors and AI are being used to reduce congestion.
传感器和人工智能正在被用来减少拥堵。
What's the public opinion on these systems? What's the public opinion on these systems?
公众对这些系统有什么看法？
There's some privacy concerns, but many appreciate the reduced traffic. There's some privacy concerns, but many appreciate the reduced traffic.
有一些隐私方面的担忧，但许多人赞赏交通的减少。
Any progress on the quantum computing front? Any progress on the quantum computing front?
在量子计算方面有任何进展吗？
A prototype is now capable of solving complex simulations in seconds. A prototype is now capable of solving complex simulations in seconds.
一个原型现在能够在几秒钟内解决复杂的模拟。
What implications does this have for data security? What implications does this have for data security?
这对数据安全有什么影响？
It could render current encryption methods obsolete. It could render current encryption methods obsolete.
它可能会使当前的加密方法过时。
What's the controversy surrounding the new gene editing trials? What's the controversy surrounding the new gene editing trials?
围绕新的基因编辑试验有什么争议？
Ethical debates have arisen over potential long-term impacts. Ethical debates have arisen over potential long-term impacts.
关于潜在长期影响的伦理辩论已经出现。
How effective has the new anti-drone technology been at airports? How effective has the new anti-drone technology been at airports?
这项新的反无人机技术在机场的效果如何？
It successfully intercepted unauthorized drones near runways. It successfully intercepted unauthorized drones near runways.
它已成功拦截了跑道附近未经授权的无人机。
What sparked the need for this technology? What sparked the need for this technology?
是什么引发了这项技术的需求？
Increasing incidents of drones disrupting flight schedules. Increasing incidents of drones disrupting flight schedules.
无人机干扰航班日程的事件不断增加。
Any news on the water purification tech being developed? Any news on the water purification tech being developed?
有关正在开发的水净化技术的最新消息吗？
It can now remove toxins from water using solar energy. It can now remove toxins from water using solar energy.
它现在可以利用太阳能从水中去除毒素。
How is this technology being deployed? How is this technology being deployed?
这项技术是如何部署的？
It's being tested in several communities with water quality issues. It's being tested in several communities with water quality issues.
它正在几个存在水质问题的社区进行测试。
What's the latest on robotic automation in manufacturing? What's the latest on robotic automation in manufacturing?
制造行业机器人自动化的最新情况是什么？
Factories are seeing a 30% increase in production efficiency. Factories are seeing a 30% increase in production efficiency.
工厂的生产效率正在提高30%。
How is the new facial recognition software being received by law enforcement? How is the new facial recognition software being received by law enforcement?
新的面部识别软件在执法部门中的接受情况如何？
It's proving to be a valuable tool in identifying suspects. It's proving to be a valuable tool in identifying suspects.
事实证明，它是在识别嫌疑人方面非常有用的工具。
Are there any privacy concerns? Are there any privacy concerns?
有任何隐私方面的担忧吗？
Yes, there's ongoing debate about surveillance and civil liberties. Yes, there's ongoing debate about surveillance and civil liberties.
是的，关于监控和公民自由的辩论正在进行中。
What advancements have been made in space tourism? What advancements have been made in space tourism?
在太空旅游方面已经取得了哪些进展？
Commercial flights are expected to begin next year. Commercial flights are expected to begin next year.
商业航班预计将于明年开始。
What's the cost for a trip to space? What's the cost for a trip to space?
去太空旅行的费用是多少？
Prices start at around $250,000 per person. Prices start at around $250,000 per person.
价格从每人约25万美元起。
Any updates on the self-driving car regulations? Any updates on the self-driving car regulations?
关于自动驾驶汽车法规有任何更新吗？
New safety standards are being implemented this month. New safety standards are being implemented this month.
新的安全标准将于本月实施。
How are farmers using technology to improve crop yields? How are farmers using technology to improve crop yields?
农民是如何利用技术提高作物产量的？
Drones and AI are being used for precision agriculture. Drones and AI are being used for precision agriculture.
无人机和人工智能正被用于精准农业。
What benefits does this bring? What benefits does this bring?
这带来了哪些好处？
Better crop monitoring and reduced pesticide use. Better crop monitoring and reduced pesticide use.
更好的作物监控和减少农药使用。
What's the latest on the Youth Employment Initiative? What's the latest on the Youth Employment Initiative?
青年就业倡议的最新情况如何？
The program has helped over 10,000 young adults find jobs. The program has helped over 10,000 young adults find jobs.
这个项目已经帮助超过1万名年轻人找到了工作。
How are companies participating? How are companies participating?
公司是如何参与的？
Many are offering internships and training programs. Many are offering internships and training programs.
许多公司提供实习和培训项目。
Any news on the global warming research? Any news on the global warming research?
关于全球变暖研究的最新消息吗？
Recent data shows faster ice melt than previously predicted. Recent data shows faster ice melt than previously predicted.
最近的数据显示，冰融化速度比之前预测的更快。
How has the community reacted to the new public library system? How has the community reacted to the new public library system?
社区对新公共图书馆系统的反应如何？
There's strong support for the digital access it provides. There's strong support for the digital access it provides.
它提供的数字访问得到了强烈支持。
What features does the new system include? What features does the new system include?
新系统包括哪些功能？
Online borrowing and digital workshops. Online borrowing and digital workshops.
在线借阅和数字研讨会。
What's the status of the anti-corruption campaign? What's the status of the anti-corruption campaign?
反腐运动的现状如何？
Several high-profile arrests have been made. Several high-profile arrests have been made.
已经进行了几起高调逮捕。
How is the government ensuring transparency? How is the government ensuring transparency?
政府是如何确保透明度的？
They've introduced new regulations for public officials. They've introduced new regulations for public officials.
他们为公职人员引入了新规定。
Any developments in the fight against online piracy? Any developments in the fight against online piracy?
在打击网络盗版方面有任何进展吗？
New software can instantly detect and block pirated content. New software can instantly detect and block pirated content.
新软件可以及时检测并阻止盗版内容。
How are emerging markets reacting to the global economic policy changes? How are emerging markets reacting to the global economic policy changes?
新兴市场如何应对全球经济政策的变动？
There's cautious optimism about potential growth opportunities. There's cautious optimism about potential growth opportunities.
对于潜在的增长机会，人们持谨慎乐观态度。
What adjustments are being made? What adjustments are being made?
正在做出哪些调整？
Many are reforming tax laws and encouraging foreign investment. Many are reforming tax laws and encouraging foreign investment.
许多国家正在改革税法，并鼓励外国投资。
Any updates on the ocean cleanup project? Any updates on the ocean cleanup project?
海洋清理项目有什么最新进展吗？
Thousands of tons of plastic have been removed so far. Thousands of tons of plastic have been removed so far.
到目前为止，已经移除了数千吨塑料。
How is this impacting marine life? How is this impacting marine life?
这对海洋生物有什么影响？
Early reports show a significant decrease in pollutants. Early reports show a significant decrease in pollutants.
早期报告显示，污染物显著减少。
What's happening with the international art fraud investigation? What's happening with the international art fraud investigation?
国际艺术品欺诈调查进展如何？
Several stolen works have been recovered and suspects arrested. Several stolen works have been recovered and suspects arrested.
几件被盗作品已被追回，嫌疑人已被逮捕。